Smoking is the leading cause of preventable death in the United States, and the problem is especially acute among America's veterans. In fact, helping them quit this risky habit is one of VA's biggest challenges. But progress is being made. That's evident in the fact that as many as 3 million Americans successfully give up smoking every year. And VA clinicians are applying lessons learned from extensive research about what techniques work best in helping smokers to quit.
One of the most effective ways to quit smoking has nothing to do with self-discipline.
I had a stroke when I was 37.
I was getting bad, I couldn't breathe.
I felt that I was having a heart attack and had to go to the emergency room.
A lot of smokers quit the habit simply because they've been given no other choice. Their doctors have told them if they continue to smoke, they'll probably die from some type of cancer, cardiovascular disease, or another health-related problem. Susan Myrie, coordinator of the Nicotine Dependence Service at the VA Medical Center in Cincinnati, Ohio, says there's a reason why people let their smoking habit get so out of hand.
It's very clearly an addiction. And addiction is actually a brain disease. It's an illness where we do what we know is harming us, sometimes even against our own will.
Susan is dedicated to helping veterans quit before their smoking habit becomes life-threatening. Her clients are veterans who want to quit, but just don't know how to go about doing that.
I've been smoking about 15 years, off and on. I've been trying to quit about 7.
What research shows is that about 85% of those who use tobacco do want to quit. And that's why we have our program, is to help them do so not only successfully, but also comfortably.
One thing that's become clear in recent years is that it's extremely difficult to quit smoking on your own.
What we know for those that just go cold turkey, only about 3% are still quit when we catch up to them at the end of a year. If all a person does is use medication that's ordered by the provider, about 7% are still smoke-free at the end of a year. But if they use medication and get some counseling, whether it's in a class, individual, then about 35% are still smoke-free at the end of a year.
Susan uses a variety of methods to help her patients transition into a smoke-free lifestyle. These include education, motivation, and mediation, including smoking patches. But veterans at this VA medical center say the most important thing in helping them quit smoking is group support.
I think the group meetings help more than anything else. It's to be able to exchange your feelings with other men and women that are going through the same withdrawal symptoms and how they're handling it.
The first thing I'd say is don't start, but if you have started, get into a group, a support group. I know there are a lot of people that can do it cold turkey, but if it was a serious addiction like mine, you need help.
What we know from research is that people who have quit tobacco use actually have less stress. They don't have an almost constant infusion of nicotine, which is a stimulant drug. They are working on other ways to solve life's problems without resorting to a cigarette, to learn how to manage life's issues with healthy coping strategies. It gives me great pleasure, and it's an honor to award you a 5-year coin celebrating 5 years smoke-free. Congratulations. We'll give them a hand. All right.
Veterans who've quit the habit with VA's help meet from time to time, simply to offer continuing support to one another. And each of them feels the same way about giving up smoking, that it's the best thing they've ever done.
Thank you. I couldn't have done it without you and the group.
If you or someone you know is under the age of 30 and a smoker, please consider this. If that person quits now, he or she has a very good chance of avoiding smoking's serious long-term effects. And if you're a veteran who's struggling to quit, VA wants you to know there are a variety of resources available to help. To learn more about how and why it's important to quit smoking, go to the website on your screen or call toll-free 1-877-222-8387. For your sake and those close to you, please call now.